The open-dead submarine continued to sink, slowly but surely. A long journey to the bottom of the sea. Line and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them. But at the very last second something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. My head is filled with one giant question. What in the world is that thing? Is this thing? Yeah, you see soon enough. Eek! I see you managed to survive, detective. Hey, you here? Excuse my appearance, I seem to have lost my body. Oh, and you there. You're the ghost who's been saving Line all evening, aren't you? You knew about me all along? Of course, what else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Sister, look at you. What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. You can't remember who you are? That's right. I came all this way tonight trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight I thought that was you, Sissel. Sissel, my name isn't Sissel. I bet you remember really soon. Who you are and who I am too. What? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind, a memory about to merge. Do I know this man? Now that I shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull. And it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had a deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Temsik fragment. I didn't know they had it. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figure out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. It's 10 years. I've been watching that junkyard the superintendent do his research. And I think I kind of got some of it figured out. The meteorite radiation gives spirits special powers, like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly, apparently there are individual differences in the power we get. And it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? In a nutshell, we die while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. That's what it does, dying while being exposed to the radiation. On that day 10 years ago. A fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart, and I died. So of course I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. Aren't the time-seeker remnants still right there in the park, at the bottom of the crate? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteor radiation too. So time effect. Another effect of meteorites radiation has on it is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of that meteorite. One of the characteristics of that meteorite is its ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment's death? This is all so strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yes, strange and confusing. That's just about sums it up. The object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, the fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separate my life and death. What? My body's vital function stopped 10 years ago. But my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time you stopped it, huh? So you simply existed, not really alive and not really dead. That's pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with a scalpel. So I guess as soon as an incision is made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. Revenge. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our life. Our lives? As part of the deal I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the justice minister and made him issue the execution order. But I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So that's why you want his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know. They had their own reason for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsec. Detective Yod was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Calinella and that junkyard super. They were stated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my temp stick fragment and here I am. But they had one more final target. You, detective. Me? If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Oh, okay. But I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later, you become a detective looking into Yo's case. Tonight I invite you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago. So of course you didn't recognize me. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off and the first shot missed the mark. The junker was equipped with security cameras. I know you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with them after that. But then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. The inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargain chip was in that body. I had to get it back, no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temsic meteorite. Because you were looking into Yode's case. They thought you would find out there about Temsic sooner or later. And done. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for water pressure to crush this submarine. Oh no. There are no cores that links from here to the water surface. I have an idea. We hook up the phone line and there are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin, a coffin for the dead. There's no escape.